Okay, so now I'm going to start the sessions for your routing protocols in your Palo Alto Firewall, guys. Let's start the sessions. So as we can see that, so we did morning sessions like your static routing and default routing, so which was working perfectly. So I showed you, even I configured how to access the Palo Alto Firewall like Telnet, SSH. So I have configured from all the four routers, Cisco routers, we can able to access your Palo Alto Firewall. So now in this, now I'm going to configure your RIP. Regarding theory for the RIP, which I already explained the routing and switching training. Okay, the commands for the routing protocol here also same, there's no difference. Okay, so only the Palo Alto commands is slight changes. Okay, so that we are going to do it now. The basic configurations. So what I want to show you that. So we can see what are the things we configured previous this thing. Show routing F5P. So if you check show routing protocol, and these are the list of protocols where we can do configure in your firewall, guys. So we can able to configure your BGP, OSPF version 3, redistribute and RIP. Fine, guys. So these are the things which we are going to discuss it. Okay. The service profile we already created. Okay. The loopbacks which you have created, the same loopback will do it. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, the zoning also we have created, service profile we have created, we have enabled the default routing as well. We have created. So now we are going to use now your routing protocol. Let's see if you type about the RIP. Okay, so nothing he has showing now. RIP, so RIP database. So nothing has been, as we can see. So it I have not configured with any protocol yet. Okay, the routing protocol is not configured here. So now we are going to configure your RIP now. Fine, guys. So let's start configuring your RIP. So before checking that, first you should remember like what are the four routers I have configured. I have configured with default routing and just loopbacks I have created. Okay, so here also same thing. I am using the same topology to configure the RIP one. And before that, first thing is what we have to do. We have to create the zoning here. Now, how to check the zone here? Let me configure that one also. Show zone. So as we can see, so zoning we are configured with inside network for the layer for all the four interfaces we have configured with the zoning. Okay, so show network interface. Before doing RIP, just check what are the things we have configured. So we are configured with interfaces for all the interfaces for Ethernet 1, 2, 3, and 4 with all the IP address like 1.2, 2.2, 3.2, and 4.2 with the Class C IP addressing format with the different interfaces. Right? Okay, so one more command like if you check, okay, show network virtual router. Okay, so it will show you like what are the things you have configured any routing protocol. Just we configure the default routing, it's showing inside, outside, and DMZ. So where we have configured. Okay, so now to configure the RIP, okay, first you should configure the RIP from the router, right? So first we'll configure, we go to the router, then we'll configure for the firewall. So I'll open my R1. This is my R1 router. Okay, so how to configure RIP, guys? So go to global configuration mode. Okay. So router, okay, give the question mark. As we can see, this is the list of protocol we can configure in this router. Cisco, this is Cisco IOS router. Okay, so RIP. Okay, and this I'm going to use version 2. Okay, so I'm using a new command, no auto summary, guys. So I want to have a details network. I want the only network to be displayed, not the subnetted one. I want the network to be displayed on my page. So no auto summary. So network. Okay, so which network? So what are the network is available in R1 router? So it should reach to the rest of the all the routers, including the firewall. Okay, guys. Let me show you that. We'll do that. Okay, so how to configure this? I'll give any network, guys. That's it. I'll give any network. And same thing, I'm going to configure for R2 router. So configure router RIP. Same thing, what we did in packet tracer, same command, guys. There's no difference. What are the things you configured in the packet tracer? Same command, no difference. Okay, let me do, I'm going to use this version 2. No auto summary. So network. So any network. And same thing I want to configure for your router 3 as well. Enable router RIP. This is my version 2. Router summary. Network. Any network. And same thing I want to configure for R4. Network. R2. Okay. So R4 also done. Okay, so we are done with the routing RIP. We configured on the routers, Cisco routers now. Okay, so let's configure the routing protocol in your firewall. Okay, set network virtual router protocol. Virtual router default protocol. With a question mark, it will show you the list of things we can configure in the your firewall, guys, your Palo Alto firewall. Can be able to configure your BGP, OSPF version 3, redistribute profile, redistribute profile IPv6. Okay, remember, guys, you can notice here what is OSPF versions 3. And RIP also we can able to configure. Can anyone answer what is any idea about OSPF version 3? Now I'm going to configure the RIP. Guys, are you there? Just enable US. Enable the RIP first. Okay. Then, guys, are you there? I asked them one question.
Yes, that we're here.
Yes, Pranav, I'm asking the questions like you can see on the screen. Okay, yeah, it has mentioned like OSPF, BGP, OSPF version 3, redistribute redistribute profile IPv6 and RIP. So my question is, what is OSPF version 3? OSPF version 3 is nothing but your IPv6 guys. Okay, so let's do the RIP now. Okay, set network virtual router default protocol. Okay, RIP for the interface Ethernet 1/1. Okay, so same thing for 1/2, 1/3, 1/4 interface. Okay, so we are done with this thing. Then format. Okay, so at the same time, so what we'll do, so let's check the routing protocol on your router, right? Just and show IP protocol. So you can see guys, the protocol application has been used. You can see, so we have configured with the RIP. Protocol is running RIP. Okay, this is a list of loopbacks and gigabytes interface has been configured with the RIP, including the loopbacks. So as you know, your default routing you configure from the router guys. Means any network should go and access to the internet. It should go via the Palo Alto Firewall so that it can filter it. This is logic here. So we can see here on the screen. So routing information source gateway is your 1.2. Okay, because it is connected for 1.2. Okay, 1.1 is its own interface. So as you can see, the administrative distance is 120. Do you remember for the RIP administrative distance is 120? Okay, guys. Okay, so now check for this R2 show IP protocol. Okay, so this guy also we configure the list of loopbacks with the gateway of 2.2. Fine. So 2.2. So let's check with your next router. That is your router 3. 3 show IP protocol. So this is also configured with 3.2. So 3.2 is your router interface, guys. Correct. Let's check with router 4. Okay, this guy is my router 4. Show IP protocol. Okay, so this guy also configured with all the routing protocols with the gateway with 4.2. Administrative distance for the RIP is 120. Okay, so let's open the firewall now. Okay, so it has been saved now, right? So in the firewall, it has been saved now. So after this, let's check whether it is configured the RIP or not. Show IP route RIP. is configured with the RIP, right? These all are the routing protocol, guys. Correct. These all the routing protocols we can see, right? All except the 40 network is not reachable here still. We can see the list of 40 network is not available. We'll check that. Rest of the things it has been reached. Let's check. This is R4. Yeah, this is R4. Let me check with R1. Show IP route RIP. Fine. So this is my R4 loopback. This is my R3 loopbacks. Okay. And this is my R2 loopback. This is R2 loopbacks. And yes. And next thing is check for this guy. Show IP route RIP. So this is my 3 network, 10 network, 20 network, and 40 network. Fine. So everything has been done here. Okay. So next job is we'll go to the now firewall. Okay. If you check what are the things before configurations. So let's check. Let me exit here. Exit. Show routing FIP. So as we can see, guys, it has learned all the network. We can see it has learned all the network because my cursor is not uh, collecting this one. The reason, so we can see, so everything is like default configuration has been learned. So the firewall has learned like 40 network, 30 network, 20 network, and 10 network for the loopback, which we have created from all 4 routers. Fine, guys. Okay. So now if you want to check, okay, show routing route RIP database. Show route. Let it load. Route. So you can see the list, it has been learned. So I have noticed here, even it has calculated the metric calculation. So can you see for the rest of the interface? So it has learned the list for the interface, who is my next hop. For the respective all the IP address, we can see it has learned. Still is there a guess? You can see the series of the network. Fine. So totally routes are 46. We can see the notice, guys. So for the network 172.40.7 networks, the middle of the screen, it has learned next hop is 192.168, 4.1. So that shows that. So it has been learned the other network details. So if you want to check the command like show routing protocol RIP, okay, database. Okay, we can see this is the list of database, guys. So what are the command I'm using? So please go through it again and again. Okay. So at the same time, so once if you get the access, server access from the office, so we can do the hands-on. Okay. So we can see the command which I used, show routing protocol RIP database. So it will show you the which configured you have configured, who is your next hop, okay, from whom you have paid. Okay, 1.1 or 2.1 and 3.1. You can see the right side of your screen. You can see 1.1, 2.1, 3.1 and 4.1 has been paid. Okay. You're following, guys? Like if you want to check show IP protocol RIP, if you want to check only RIP, okay. If you give the question mark, whether you want to see the interface or pairing or database, I think already I showed to you. So it will show you the same command. If you talk about RIP interface, so it will show you the which interface it has been connected. We can see the interface name, okay, and interface address, and send to send allotted, yes. Receiving alert, yes. So for interface, you can allow or deny. Means here yes or no. Okay. So authentication, AUTH type, still we are not configured. So today's default routing from this firewall, we have not done any default routes. Okay, authentications still we are not configured yet. Okay, so same for all the interfaces. Let's check other parameters and summary. If you want to see RIP summary, so only the which are the interfaces. Okay, we can see rejected default. Yes, default it has been rejected, and redistribute routes blocked. Still we have not done the redistribution here. So when what time has been updated? Just 1 second. Expire interval is 30, and expire you can see a deleted interval. So still deleted interval is talking about administrative distance for the RIP 120. Okay, so interface command is done. How to check? You're following, guys?
Yes,
I think from here, okay, if you ping any host, I think it should be, let's check ping host. Ping. Let's check the connectivity 172. Okay, let me check 40.1.1. Just we are allowing the project. Let's check the other guy. Okay, setting 10.1. From this side, you will not configure, so we'll do it later, guys. Not required to configure that. If you check for the router, so in the routers, we configure the RIP, right? So you're following, right, guys?
yes.
So routing FIB. All the routing protocol has been configured perfectly. Okay. Okay. So now we'll configure from the router, for which we are not configured. Here, this thing we'll configure from here. We'll the static routes. Okay. Destination is any network. Okay. So how to configure this? So now go to the configuration mode. Okay. So now set network virtual router default routing table IP static route. This is for outside network. Destination. So destination, I want to give any network. Any network, any mask. Okay. So if you want to specify for the specific interface also we can give, or for the all we can give it, no issues. So for the say example, if you give the question mark, okay, so it will ask you whether which interface you want to advertise this, or you want to give some metric value specific how you want to route. So right now I will give, let's give for any interface. I want to go Ethernet interface. Let's give for third interface. Okay. And metric value, I'll give just check the metric value. Interface, let's give the interface 1/1 or 1/1, 1/3 also we can just we can select any path. Okay. Metric 1, next hop, IP address 192.168. Next hop is I think 3.1. Maybe some mistake. You can see we have given 2 tabs. Here should be interface. Interface 3. Something we are giving some. Any network interface 2001 factor 1. My next stop is IP address. So to understand guys, so when you are giving the wrong command, okay, when you're typing the commands, if you use a tab, so if it is not completing the word, so that means that you are giving the wrong command, wrong syntax. The other reason it's showing the wrong syntax. So I have given like Ethernet interface 2 times I have given. That's the reason it was showing error. Okay. So my next stop IP address is 192.168.3.1 because I have selected the interface Ethernet interface 1/3. Fine. Okay. Not a valid reference. Showing service side path monetization was is not allowed for the keyword. Okay. So let's change to 192.168. So I will change to 2.1. Let's see. Stop. Dot one. This time I have given, okay, I think 2.2 please. Let us use. Why it's showing this error? Outside path monitor on destination DNS. We have to remove that old one. Yes. So now it has accepted it. You can see, right? So now give the comment. Let it save that. Meanwhile, what we'll do, let me check the Windows. Check with the routers. You can see the list of routes it has been enabled, right? Just show RIP. Fine. So we can see this all are RIP. As you know that the R stands for your RIP. Correct. So it has been configured here, RIP configuration, guys. So let me ping to 140.network, which you have created the loopbacks in R4. Okay, I think you should ping able to reach 40.1.1. 168. Okay, 172 guys. So 172.40.1.1. Perfect. So now we can reach guys because previously I given the wrong command. So now it's working perfectly. So we can reach to all the networks from here. Even I can reach 30.1.1. Okay, even like 20.1.1 also I can reach. Okay, and even I think 40.2.1. Okay, and 3.1 also I can reach. Even I can reach 4.1. Even I can able to reach 5.1. For all the interfaces, I can able to reach. Fine. So let's check firewall it has saved or not first. Okay, so now it has saved this one. Exit, show routing route. So you can see this all. It has learned all the different network gas. Can you see? Notice here. So 172 series network gas. Please pay some attention here. The first destination I configured a default routing. Okay, for this interface. So 172, 168, 172 10 network, 172 20 network, 172 30 network. Okay, and 172 40 network also it has been learned. Okay, so even it has learned 192 network with one network, two network, three network, and four network. Right. So we can see if you want to check show FIB, so routing. So you can see the U and G. So U is up, okay, G is the gateway. So it has been learned, it has got learned the other network in his routing table. Okay. So any questions, guys, here?
No touch.
What happened, guys? Please on the camera, just I want to see you guys. Is it all they have come or anybody absent today? Yes, Varsha, is it all the people they have came or anybody absent today?
I think almost everyone came, sir.
Okay, good. I think. And why? Because no one is responding because I'm asking you a lot of questions at the middle, guys. I know it's difficult for you guys to understand the concept. It takes time. Until unless if you have the hands on, I'm sure I think you can able to understand the just we have some knowledge about the firewall. I think how does it to command basic command. So right now till now I think routing switching Cisco firewall no issues, right? So now only thing is from here because we must have the lab access. Once if you have the lab access, I'm sure I think can able to understand the complete technology. At least familiar with the technology, guys. Where is other guys like Anjali, Ashwita, Diksha? I think they are silent totally, completely. Pavitra, Vaishnavi. Ashwita, on your camera. Okay, now you on the camera. Now you woke up. So now you must learn first, man, to teach your team. Rahul and Vishnu and because so you people has to work on it because so you'll have the lab access. Okay, so so now please follow up to the like Anshika for the lab access. Okay, so they told already everything is installed. Just we need to action and we can do the hands-on. Okay, like two people they can access. So my recommend is guys, please use your cat cable if you are in at home or in the office. I don't recommend you people to use the wireless because it is a CLI and GUI based, so it takes time to understand, right? Right now we are doing the CLI based. So in the Palo Alto we have the GUI based. So I'll check the issue today. It's not opening GUI interface. Their configuration of your static routing, default routing, your RIP, and even OSPF, we can configure on like automation type, clicking next, give the network and this thing. Same thing, how I didn't taught you in the Cisco packet tracer, right? How to give the IP address, how to configure the RIP. It is there right in the packet tracer. You can configure, right? Anybody configure RIP in the packet tracer without using any command?
I have done, sir.
Did you? Vishnu?
Srisha.
Srisha, you are done. Okay.
Raj, you mean the normal rip, no?
Huh?
normal RIP which we have done in routers.
Yeah. So in packet tracer RIP, how you configured RIP? So I'm asking in Cisco packet tracer, did you configure using without using any commands? So there is inbuilt, we can select the RIP and give the network.
So we used router RIP, and also that is inbuilt in the CLI, so we can do both.
Yes, we can do both, right? In the packet tracer.
Correct.
So here in Palo Alto Firewall, so what I'm teaching now, all are CLI based. Same thing is also available in GUI interface, graphical user interface.
Sir, can you please teach the GUI based faster so that we can get to know?
I know I was expecting this question only from Sonu. Is it I'm right?
Srisha, sir.
Sirisha. Oh, Sirisha, you want always easy way, man. RIP also you're using automation. Just open, glow and this thing. Select the network, RIP, default static.
He is an automation
Select
Because
team.
in our
That's right.
automation team, sir.
It is like automation, guys.
This project
Everything
is
is
also an
click,
automation.
right? Assigning IP address like RIP, this thing. Yeah, I'll show you guys. It's not opening in the CLI base. Let me check once again. So it has to open. It's not opening. Let me check that. Check on this side. .168. 13.100 is my Palo Alto Firewall IP address. So once if it is open, so I can able to show you the GUI interface. Same thing, please try to get the access from Office server. Let's give yes. I try to fix this issue, guys. Don't worry. So we'll there is some the proxy something is blocking here. If you are using the proxy server, check setting should block it. LAN setting and deselect using the proxy server. Blocking here. Let me check here. See. Does not protect you against dangerous website download extensions. So you get safe broadcasting protections. Okay, so can we start now? Let me show you some other things. I think for every router is getting ping, right? So let me check from the firewall ping. One. One. Let's ping to my gateway. 68. One. So as the reachability means you should open the GUI based. Open. So 132 image allowed pop up direct. Allow. I'll allow everything, man. Let's see. Allow ask someone report. Insecure content. Allow. It's showing some issues, guys. Let's see. Okay, so let's move on now. Okay, now I don't want to explain like distance for the router priority enabling one and that. Okay, so I'll show you some other commands which will help you to show the check the configuration part. Okay, in the firewall. So I think configure. Okay, show a network virtual router default. Okay, so this is a list of commands so which I not explained previously. So we can see now. So one more command is show. It is not there. I think show network interface default. So protocol will not configure the distance. So we are not configured with this thing. Let's move on. You can see the previous commands. So what I type. Okay, let me show you. I notice here. So it has been configured with the default protocol RIP. It has been configured with the RIP. You can see enable for the all four interface. You can see, right? Okay, so understood there RIP, the configuration RIP of the Palo Alto Firewall. You can see it has configured in the RIP on the screen. You can see RIP enable for all the interfaces. From all interface, we can able to ping it. So how we can check, guys? So reason how we can check means from the routers, right? So I can reach to all the interfaces, right? So 172 dot, right now I'm in router 1, okay, 40.1.1, which is my router 4 on your topology. You can see, right? Show you the topology. You can see, let me refresh the topology. So you can see, guys, you can see this is my R4. So I can reach to this network, means your firewall is forwarding. Okay. Even I can reach to R3, R4, R32 and R4 as well. Okay, so as right now I have ping to 40 means that is my router 4. So let me check with 30. So 30 also I have reachability. So even 20 also I have a reachability. So 10 network is by R1 itself. Okay, not only that, so even you can check for your other network which is connected. Two network also available in R4, right? So and 3 network. So even the 4 networks also available and 5 network. Fine. So this is the routing protocol, guys. Understood, guys? Guys, did you understood? Okay, so let's do one more basic lab. Okay, so tomorrow I'll do it. Start the OSPF. Okay, so for the OSPF, I think can I continue now for the OSPF? I'll show you one simple this is an authentication command, guys. So I think I was talking about MD5. Do you remember, guys? Anybody? MD5 stands for.
Message digest 5, sir.
Okay, so now we'll do that configuration for the firewall. Okay. So I want to give the key between to the R1. Those who got authentication, they can give the updates, not everybody. Okay, let's do that. Okay, set network virtual router for which protocol? Default protocol RIP for interface. Let's create the key first now. For the protocol RIP. Okay, authentication profile. So if you give the question mark, it'll ask you the name. I will give for R1 router. I want to give for R1 router key. That key should be matched for R1 MD5. If you want to check, give the question mark, it will show you MD5 or password, how you want. I want to give the MD5 authentication. MD5. Okay, if you give the, it will ask you the key value. You can give key value up to 0 to 255. So I'll give just 1 as it now. And key is I'll give my name. Okay, so now this is just we have created the key. Then again, one more command we have to give set network virtual router default protocol RIP for which interface? Okay, so this R1. So R1 is which interface, guys? Anybody can tell me? R1 router, it is connected to the firewall. Okay, for the which interface it has connected?
1/1.
1/1, right? That is your Ethernet 1/1. Okay, you have to make the authentication for R1. Is a case sensitive, guys. We have to give the same one. Okay, so after this, give comment. If you go and check in R1, okay, debug IP RIP events, So it will show you the error. Okay, it will show you the error. For that, we have to give the again your MD5 authentication in router 1, because right now we have mapped to R1, guys. We have mapped to for R1. We have given the MD5 message digits. The key value is TAJ. I have given. Same thing in R1 we must give. So before creating the authentication, MD5 authentication, okay. So this is done here on the firewall. Let's check this is R1. So how to check, guys? If you check debug, okay, so IP RIP events. Okay, the event debug is on. So invalid authentication has been found for gigabytes Ethernet 0/0. Can you notice here? You can notice here it's showing like authentication error. Means we are not because it has removed the communication with all the network. You can see by even loopback also is removing. 10.4, 7, 6, 1, 2, 3. So all it's removing. But thing is, it's not getting communicate with the router now because it don't have any authentication to reach to the firewall. Okay, how to remove undebug? Undebug all. Okay, now it is off. Okay, so now you can see. So now we'll configure the MD5 authentication in the router, guys. Fine. Guys, pay some attention, guys. You can see it's showing invalid authentication from the firewall because you are not allowed to give any updates. Right now, as you know that we configure the RIP in router 1, right? So all the networks is advertising to the firewall. Through firewall, we can able to reach for the R2, R3, and R4. So now we cannot reach because authentication failed. Because in the Palo Alto Firewall, we have configured the MD5 authentication by the key 1 by the name TAJ, right? So now we'll configure in the MD5 authentication. Remember, guys, MD5 authentications, even you can configure for OSPF and EAGRP and BGP also. So when the two key match, then only it will share the updates. This is how your RIP is going to work. So how to configure the MD5 authentication in the router 1? Okay, so go to global configuration mode. Okay, so key, you can give the question mark, key chain. Okay, trust. You can see the trusted one. I'll give name trust. It will take you there. So key is 1 because 1 key we have generated there. Okay, the key string. The key string is TAJ. All right, exit. Exit. So now you go to that interface. Which interface? Gigabytes 0/0. This interface is connected to the firewall, right? Okay, so IP RIP authentication mode. You can see keychain or mode. So we will take the mode is MD5. You can see if you give the question mark, and this can we can configure in packet tracer, guys. Configure MD5 authentication in what are the routing protocol you configured in packet tracer, in routing, switching, even the firewall, Cisco firewall, what you configured. So there you configure this, it will work. In packet tracer also it supports. So mode, I will give MD5. Okay, then IP RIP authentication key chain is trust, because just I have created the trust name. So what I have created, the same thing I'm using here. You can see because you can see, right? Key chain I have created with the name trust. Okay, the key string is TAJ, right? Yeah. So now we are not getting any error. Suppose if you type show IP route, So IP route RIP. Right. So we can able to get all of this thing right. Suppose if you type, okay, debug, okay, so what do you want to debug? Do you remember what command I have given for debug? Guys, debug IP RIP, right? Events. So debug event is on. So as you noticed here, so we are not getting any this thing right. So it has showing that source has been reached. Okay, so no issue with the routes. We are getting all the updates. So on debug all. Okay, now I make it off. Just for authentication, guys. That's it. Because this is authentication where it will, when the key chain is matched, then only it will share the update. Otherwise, no. This is the job of your MD5 authentications. So if you want to show run, see. Okay, so we have configured what? Here we can see, right? We configured this. I'll do one thing. I'll remove that. Okay, then I'll show you that. Okay, how to remove that? This one, keychain trust. See, global competition. Oh, setting. No keychain. Show IP route. Here is a trust key. Are you there, guys? All of you? See, it has applied to the interface, right? Can you see? It has been applied to the interface. For this interface, IP-RIP authentication mode, keychain, all those things. Let me remove this. IP. Guys, are you there? All of you. Let me see all of you. So all people you are sitting in different places. You're not in the training room. I could notice even Rida also sitting in floor. Where is Vaishnavi, Vedanta, Vaishnavi Shetty, Vidyashri? Shall I continue with the OSPF, guys? Authentication, MD5 authentication, you have understood, right? So shall I continue with the OSPF now, or you want to continue tomorrow morning? Now it is 5:30. Nobody is answering, as if like I am talking to myself.
Tal,
So
sir.
tomorrow, sir.
Anything is fine, sir. Tomorrow, Tal.
Are you sure, guys? Tomorrow we'll start the OSP of the firewall this thing. Okay, no issues. So we'll continue tomorrow. Okay.